everybody, and welcome back to the First Nations Fiber Podcast, the first one of 2022, Episode 5, The Fiber Strikes Back. I'm your host, Jeremy White, alongside Cameron Lahash, and today's Casual Friday on the show. As you can see, I got my Def Leppard shirt on. Cameron, you're still dressed too.
Yeah, I'm dressed up. We got the company merch going on here. We made a post on Facebook about this stuff, so it's pretty sweet.
Will people be able to buy some First Nations Fiber merch?
We haven't received any requests, but I mean, if people really want to buy it, I don't see why not. We'll make it available.
It's like people walking around with like powwow security hats. Like it's res fashion.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we'll put it out there. Look, if people are interested enough in buying our merch, just put it down in the comments below. Let us know, and we'll oblige if we receive enough interest. I don't see why not.
I'll wear it. Why not?
Yeah,
I'll do it.
let's do it.
Got to get one that fits me.
I don't know what we're gonna do either once we run out of Star Wars movies for our for the names of our
How many more?
episodes.
We got like 6 more to go. 3 more. We'll have to start
We're
going
in
to
episode
spin-offs.
5, and then we got the
book
sequel
of Boba
trilogy.
Fiber.
Oh my gosh, we got to do the Mandalorian first.
Yeah, the Manda Fibrian. Something. Anyways, coming up on the show, we got lots of exciting news. We're making so much progress in getting the network connected and the community basically connected. Talking about permits and different things. And before we get to all of that, we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. There's been a lot of misinformation and disinformation being propagated through the community about internet services here in Kahnawake. Now, we just want to make it clear that this is First Nations Fiber. We are First Nations Fiber, Kahnawake #1 internet company and internet provider here in the community. There are others. There's a lot of misconception, though, about who they are and who we are. So if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so basically when we made our announcement in the summer that we were going to be rebranding from First Nations Wireless to First Nations Fiber, there was another company that started to publicize their name as well. And the name of that company is actually K-Fiber Optic.
Right.
Their central office, their building is actually across the street from the bank. So they're another...
right across from the bus station, right?
Right across from the bus station. Yeah, you could see there's a big sign up on their building. It says coming soon.
Yes.
And I'm sorry.
We're umming so if you saw it one of those days. Anyways, listen, we're all about competition, and we're all about having a fair enterprise, or having it all being fair in the community. I mean, you got multiple options when it comes to internet, but in reality, we're First Nations Fiber. We're nobody else, and we're going to be providing the best product that you could possibly imagine. And honestly, it's been worth the wait, and it will continue to be worth the wait, because we're going to be talking about installation times, and it's all coming up really soon. So if you could just hold on with your internet right now and then make the switch over to First Nations Fiber when we're ready to launch, I guarantee you are not going to regret waiting it out. It's just going to be so worth it.
Yeah, and a lot of people talk about, oh, well, it's taken a while. Just bear in mind and remember the fact that we're still on track to be completed our entire project by next September. Or actually, this coming September, the September of this year.
Yeah.
And that's not just the village or one other small portion of the community. That's literally everywhere. So that's new development. That's 207. That's OCR.
Yeah.
That's
the entire
138.
network.
It's everywhere. It's the entire community that's going to be connected.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to service every single house and every single business by next September.
And the funny thing about First Nations Fiber is that you're doing it right. Unlike a lot of other companies that aren't necessarily following the rules when it comes to getting certified and getting inspections done and getting permits and getting Bell and this and that. I mean, you guys have gone through, just hold this up for a second.
Yeah, I'd love to hold this up.
Because this is quite the accomplishment for a Kahnawake owned and operated company to have been certified by FiberZone.
Yeah.
And to be holding the certificate right there.
This is my certificate.
Yeah.
So, but every single one of our techs who are currently employed with us received certification as well. We went to the training. This is certification giving me authorization for fiber to the home residential installation. So
Right.
I've received the training necessary to be able to install inside of your house properly, the best way, the least invasive way, the way that's going to cause the least amount of damage to your house. No water damage, we're not going to be drilling holes that are too big, anything else like that. And it's going to be properly done, and it's going to be professionally done.
Right.
But that's always been, honestly, it's always something that we've focused on, is making sure that we're certified, making sure that our techs don't really have any misconceptions or misunderstandings, or just have that confidence at the end of the day of how to do things right and how to do things properly. It's an ever-changing industry, and we want to make sure that our guys are using the latest ways and latest standards as to how to actually perform these jobs that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, it's not like you're just hiring your cousin. It's like, hey, you know how to use a drill? You want to put a wire in? Like, everybody's certified and has gone through the program to be trained and do it properly. So, honestly, it just gives me, even just as a customer, as a community member, it gives me the feeling that, like, okay, these people know what they're doing. And it also gives me confidence to let you come into my house and be drilling through my wall and doing all this stuff. I mean, you don't just want every Tom, Dick, and Harry kind of doing this. And the fact that you guys are all certified and done it, it really does add a lot of confidence to the product as well.
Yeah, and it always goes back to me about how we have a long-term vision as to how this network is going to be used. We want to make sure, and again, I'm going to emphasize this point, that this job is done correctly. Mm-hmm. Network-wide, to the home, we want it done right, because our vision is for this network to last 50 plus years. And I've said that before in prior podcasts, but it's really important, because if we want something to last, it needs to be done properly. It needs to be done to a certain standard. Yeah. Because believe it or not, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but you look at this cable here. It's not necessarily delicate. It's not the cable itself that's delicate, but it's the connectors that can be extremely delicate and have to be handled with extreme care. Because when you're dealing with fiber, again, the actual glass that transmits the light through it is the size of a hair. Mm-hmm. So you're dealing with literally micrometers when it comes to something of this size. And you have to be extremely precise. You need to be borderline perfect when you're dealing with stuff like this. You can probably get away with it if you don't do it perfectly. It'll work for a season, but you're going to run into issues later on down the line if things aren't done properly. Yeah. That's what we want to avoid. We don't want our clients, say on a weekend, all of a sudden not having internet service for who knows what reason. And then we got to come whenever we get the chance to and troubleshoot for Yeah. Do it right the first time. Make sure that everything's done properly. Make sure that our techs understand the best way to do this installation, and that won't be a problem.
Yeah. And when your tip is that sensitive, you want a professional handling it.
Of course.
So talk about the network a little bit. We got a network update. All the survey work is being done. Obviously, the permits are in the process of being approved, which just goes back to the fact that you're doing it right. You're getting permits. You're being certified to do this stuff properly. Talk about the survey work that's being done on the OCR, and I know that's almost completed, but then you're going to be moving to the new development and onto the 207, these are the outside portions of the community where people are just desperately crying and begging for good internet, especially on the 207 and new development. It's like,
listen, I've lived on the 207 since 2015. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so when people come to me and they express their frustration with the level of service that's available in those areas, I know exactly what they're talking about.
You know firsthand.
I know firsthand. I actually deal with it on a regular basis. And the area where I live, it's a heavily forested area, so I can't exactly service myself using the Wi-Fi technologies that First Nations Wireless is using to service clients right now.
Right.
It's just not possible. Too many trees. It can't happen. Mm. So I understand. It's frustrating. And that's why, for me, I always thought, well, we have to find a solution. We have to find a way that we're going to be able to change that. We want to be able to make sure that everybody has access to a better service.
Yeah.
So that was always our vision, and that was always our goal. We just needed to find a way how, and we have. The government grants literally gave us the funds necessary to be able to service everybody. So that's incredible, and I think it's going to be great. I think it's really going to change things in the community, and I'm really excited to see how people are going to receive it once it becomes available to them. But talking about the surveys a little bit, just to get, I guess, a little bit more back on track.
Yeah.
The OCR, we're still proceeding with our level 2 survey. There's, like I mentioned in the podcast in December, There's a lot of work that needs to be done on the OCR. So we're still in the level 2 survey process and identifying what poles are going to need more work. Level 1's been completed everywhere else other than the 207. Mm-hmm. And so with level 2s, we've completed the 138, we've completed the village, OCR is in process. The new development level 2 needs to be done, and also the 207 level 2 needs to be done still. So there's still quite a bit of survey work that needs to be done, but we're actually going to be bringing in more manpower so that we can get those jobs done more quickly.
Right.
Because we're viewing more or less the time between now and September is going to be a blitz where we're going to have to basically work our butts off to get everything done in time.
And that's the thing. I mean, First Nations Fiber is literally going into every single pole alongside with Bell, and you got a company called Azure coming into the community to do the survey work with you. You're literally going pole by pole to make sure that it's structurally sound and capable of holding all of the hydro lines, the phone lines, the fiber lines. I mean, you got other companies in the community that are just rolling up the poles and throwing up wires, but how do we know that the poles even structurally sound to hold on to them and keep it up?
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that you're not only investing in your network, but you're also reinvesting into the infrastructure of the community, because that's really what it is.
It really is what it is. And touching on that part with Azure coming in, and I don't know if people in the community have noticed this or not, but you'll see whenever there's an outside company that needs to come in to perform any kind of work,
regardless of what on Facebook, and people are like, "Oh, why are they coming into town?"
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you see comments like that, sometimes you don't. It really depends on, I don't know. There's no real tell as to how people are going to react, but and for people to notice lately that Azure has been coming more regularly.
Yep.
It's not coincidence that they've been coming more regularly. The reason why they are coming is because we're at that stage now. We actually have 13 permits that are in process.
Yeah.
So Bell has to basically run through everything that we've submitted to them. And one of the last steps prior to us receiving approval for a permit is for them to send this consultant firm, Azure, to come and verify basically all the work that we've done to see if we've done a legitimate job, if we've done a good job.
Yeah.
Once that verification process is complete, then we've received our permits. So we've received 3 so far today.
Great. That's awesome.
It's pretty good. Yeah. So we need a few more, but now that we've received a few, the ball's rolling on it. We're going to start receiving a lot more, a lot quicker. And you're going to see Azure is going to be coming here almost every other week, because that's how quickly we're going to be churning out our permit requests.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. And the quicker we get this done, the quicker we can get people connected, the quicker people are getting better and faster internet. Coming up on the show, we're going to be revealing our packages, which is really exciting because they're really, how would I say, there's something for everyone. And you're also going to be able to afford it, which is really cool too. We're not necessarily going to be talking about pricing just yet, because we want to tease you with the packages that we're going to be offering. And it's really exciting because these speeds haven't been offered to the community even yet. Ever. So that's coming up. Just talk about that phase 1 construction, by the way. Once you have enough permits approved and complete, you do the survey work and everything, what portions of the community are going to be serviced first? Like, where are you going to be installing?
Phase 1 installations are going to be the 132 highway, the whole thing, all the way from Chateauguay up to the circle just after the bridge.
Okay.
We'll go a little bit up the 207, but not too far. Right. So all the businesses, all the residents that are along the 132, they'll be able to get connected. Then there's the west side of the community, and that's basically down Rabaska Road towards the hospital. Everything more or less west of that between
my house.
between Rabaska and the OCR.
Yeah.
So basically that whole section of the community is going to be one of the first areas connected.
It's like River Road, the horseshoes.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, who would have thought, huh?
I know, right? It's like I have an inn. But no, that's really exciting. Okay, so it's going to be happy. So that portion of the village, and it's going to go more eastward. And okay, but everybody down on the highways. Westward.
Yes.
But that's the thing. I mean, a lot of businesses on the highways, all of their Interac machines are done on internet now. So if they don't have fast internet, well, you're standing there, you tapped in, then 45 seconds later it gets approved. But if you're in a rush, kind of sucks.
You're sitting there twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, so how about that weather?
Transaction to go through.
Like, oh, you busy today?
Yeah.
You know? So it'll be great for the businesses and for the business community. We're also going to have
and then the last area,
too,
the last area that's going to be included in phase 1 is going to be the OCR.
Yeah,
and that's huge.
I know my brother is just waiting.
And that's everywhere on the OCR. We've received a lot of requests from people on Daibo Road. Is it Daibo Road? I believe it is Daibo Road. Asking, is it going to be available here or not? And I'm assuming they're asking that because nobody else other than another provider has been able to service them, but they'll finally have an option to choose somebody else now. So that's great too.
It's just really exciting because it's no joke when we talk about every single household in the community is going to be able to be connected, because that's the whole point of First Nations Fiber. We got the funding to do it, and we're providing the service, and we're the best people to do it. It's just really exciting because, like I said, just a while ago I was interviewing somebody over Zoom, and it's like when I switched over to First Nations Wireless, it's been completely night and day. And the funny thing is that with you guys, the service that you provide, internet goes out or there's an issue with connection, boom, instant update on Facebook. Other community companies aren't doing that. There's literally just, like, they don't give any updates. There's no transparency. It's just constantly ask questions. What's wrong? Oh, is it out? Is it working? You guys, boom, something's wrong. You guys show up. You're there. Even you. You're running the company, but you're still the man on the ground, making sure everything's being done right, supervising, and even getting your hands dirty. Yeah. So
I have a little bit of a tendency to be a little OCD when it comes to things sometimes.
But that's good, though, because you can put confidence in somebody like that. They're going to do the job right.
Yeah. And that, at the end of the day, that's what my OCD a little bit comes down to, is I want to make sure that things are done properly. I want to make sure OCD and perfectionism kind of go hand in hand.
Yes.
So I'd like all of our infrastructure to be done as perfectly as possible.
Yeah.
And then I'll sleep better at night knowing that things are running along smoothly. People are happy with the service that they're receiving. And I won't necessarily, my job's done at that point, but then we can start looking at other communities as well and helping them. So, that for me, that's the bigger picture after this is done.
Yeah. FNfiber.com to get signed up, get switched over, and if we can get you the wireless service right now, we'd be more than happy to hook you up with that. In the meantime, First Nations Fiber coming this year. It's happening. Permits are almost all approved. Everybody's trained up. We're going to begin installation really soon. Talking about that, let's just talk about a couple of things we got on this table here, because when we talk about fiber, we talked about installation. People are like, well, what are you going to have to do? You have to come to my house and install wires and stuff. So talk a little bit about the installation and what we got here.
Yeah, so we got a couple of items here. I just wanted to show everybody, to give them a little visual as to what it is that they can expect when we start installing people. So go ahead and pick that.
It's robust.
And that's a single fiber in that cable. This is 100 meters long, okay? But imagine how heavy the cables are that have 280 plus strands of fiber in it.
So that makes sense when you're hanging it on poles. You have to make sure the poles can handle it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're quite heavy. But anyways, this is a pre-connectorized customer drop cable.
Okay.
So you'll see that thick end that you're holding up there.
So that's the thing, because it's really rolled up. It seems heavy and it seems big, but in reality, it's no thicker than a phone cable, or that's thinner than a microphone wire.
Yeah. It's really thin.
Wow.
And a lot of that cable right there is more or less just multiple layers of protection to protect the fiber itself.
Yeah, because you said it's about as thin as a hair.
It is as thin as a hair, essentially. Yeah. So you'll remove. There's a cap at the end of that black end.
Right.
And our installation, the way it's going to be is we're going to have terminals set up at multiple points in the neighborhood. Those terminals are going to be used for distribution. So our terminals are going to have anywhere between 4, in some cases 12 ports per terminal. So more than likely, you're going to see our terminals at every other pole.
Wow.
Because in dense areas like the village, we're going to need that many.
Yeah.
Anyways, you run this cable up to it, you remove the cap, click, plug it in on the terminal side, and then there's a proper procedure that you have to follow from running the cable to the terminal, off the pole, and then to the client's house.
Yeah.
Once you get to the client's house, I don't know if we'll be able to see it on the stream or not, but there's a green connector here. Like I said, these cables are pre-connectorized. There are some that are not pre-connectorized. They're called pigtails. They'll only have this connector on the end. And our clients received training and certification to be able to make these connectors correctly. So they know how to, in the event that they need to, for whatever reason, maybe cut this shorter, they might have too much slack. Yeah. They know how to do those things. So this is the kind of cable that you can expect to see running into your house. That's going to plug into the square box that we're going to install outside your home. It's called an optical network terminal. We talked about that before. And after, from the optical network terminal, we're going to be running an Ethernet cable from there to the device that you have in your hand right now.
Look at me, I'm like Vanna White over here, but I'm sure.
And this, yeah, there you go. But you can see it looks pretty cool. It's got a futuristic design. It's a nice design. It's smooth.
Sit on a bookshelf, sit on your desk, kind of thing.
It's not going to look out of place because ideally, and the rule of thumb is that you want to install your router in a place central in your home. So that way you have the greatest range capable that your device can off-put.
So this router is what actually gets you connected to the internet. Now, am I going to have to get a separate wireless router to create Wi-Fi in my house, or is that built in?
This is built into this unit here.
Wow, so it's all included.
Yep, so you've got, how many ports are there on the back?
4.
There's 4, right? Yep. So you've got a gigabit switch, so you got 4 ports on there. You can connect however many devices. You can even connect an additional switch if you wanted to, so you had more ports. For some people, it's really important to be connected to the internet using a physical connection with a cable. I mean, like you have your stream show that you do regularly.
Yeah.
For you, it would be important if you want to ensure that there's no problems at all whatsoever, plug in just to eliminate any possible interference that you can have over Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But yeah, these units are great. They're awesome. I guess the one thing that I can say when it comes to this is we're not going to be charging for these devices.
So
these devices are coming free of cost.
So I sign up for First Nations Fiber. You're going to come in. You're going to run the cable to my house, get everything installed. You're going to give me this box. Wi-Fi is built into the thing. It's basically plug in and go. And installation and this box and everything is totally free.
Correct.
Wow.
Free.
There's no hidden fees, no hidden charges. I don't have to pay for your gas to come to my house or anything. Like, everything's included when you sign up for First Nations Fiber.
Yes, sir.
You get installation free.
Yep.
You get the box free.
You get everything free to start out. Everything that you need to get started, everything that you need to get connected with First Nations Fiber is not going to cost you a single cent.
Wow.
Just your time. You'll need to be there when we come and install you.
Damn, look at that. I don't think anybody else is doing that.
Not that I know of.
Wow. That's really exciting. Free. Just by getting signed up and getting them to come to your house and put it in. Simple as that.
Well, look, this is a service that we know is going to change the community.
Yeah.
So we want it to be available to everybody. So we figured that the best way to make it available to everybody is by offering the installation at no cost.
Let's talk about this now. After installation happens, you're going to have multiple packages available. Talk about those packages and what the differences are going to be.
So there's going to be 4 packages that we're going to be offering. They're all going to be coming with unlimited usage, so you can use the internet however you please.
Unlimited upload, unlimited download.
Whatever you want to do, you can
like
stream
the old saying,
to your heart's
I'm going to go over my data, and you don't have to worry about
and that's
that.
honestly, that's a really good comparable because we've become, especially when we're using our cellular devices, we have limits.
Yeah.
They have a lot of unlimited plans now, but you have only so many gigabits that you can use until you start receiving throttle speed. So
until they start slowing you down.
Yeah. So I know a lot of the entry-level packages are 20 megabits, and then after you've used up your full 20, then you're going to...
It drops down to like 2.
Well, yeah. Then you're basically throttled to a certain speed.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that with us. You can basically use the internet as much as you want, download as much as you want, stream as much as you want, upload as much as you want, do whatever you want. Game, anything. And you don't have to worry. So that's included in every single one of our 4 packages. The differentiator is going to be what speed are you going to be willing to, or what speeds do you need, I should say. Because, again, we're going to make sure that the prices that we offer are going to be affordable for everybody.
Yeah.
So Package number 1 is going to be FN Fiber 50. So that gives you 50 megabits down and 50 megabits up.
50 up and down.
50 up and down.
That's already double what like a cable provider could give you in town.
Yeah. And it's the entry level package, and quite frankly, it's going to be more than, well, it'll be good enough for most people's needs.
Look, like I said, that's already double what a cable provider can give you in town. It'll just that alone to go from 20 up to like, or 20 download to 5 up that some people are getting right now with a cable provider. I mean, to go to 50/50, that's, like I said, it's literally double. I mean, and if that's the entry level package, that isn't going to cost an arm and a leg either. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And our top of the line package that we offer currently with Wi-Fi is 40 and 10.
Yeah.
So it quite frankly, the new entry level package with fiber is going to blow our pro package out of the water.
So we go from 50/50. From there, we go up.
So the next package after that is FN Fiber 250. So you'll jump from 50 megabits down to 250 megabits down and 250 megabits up. That's the next plan.
It's up and down.
Up and down.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So then it goes up from there.
And honestly, if the 50 isn't going to be enough to meet your needs, I'd be very surprised if the 250 isn't good enough for you.
But if it's not good enough.
If it's not, though, and if you are honestly somebody who just wants something faster for whatever reason, then there's the FN Fiber 500. And that's 500 down and 500 up. It's ridiculous, right? It's
because these speeds have not been possible in the community before. So it's like, I even sitting here, I'm like, I don't believe it. But I believe it knowing what you guys are going to be offering. But if that's not enough for you.
And obviously, we've talked about this since the beginning. And it's something that we've strived for is the capability of offering gigabit service.
Yes.
And that's going to be the top package that we offer is FN Fiber Gig. So a gig is 1,000 megabits. So you'll have 1,000 megabits down, 1,000 megabits up. 1 gig synchronized connection.
That's insane.
If you are just insane, quite frankly, and you think that you need it.
I need it.
If you think you need it, it'll be there. But like I said, honestly, for the majority of the people, the 250 package will be more than enough.
Yeah.
If you're a professional, if you need the fastest speeds for whatever it is that you do.
If you got 4 kids in the house and you got your baby mama downstairs that's streaming Netflix while she's doing some dishes and you're on a meeting upstairs or you're doing, like work and all 4 of the kids are on iPads and streaming and this and that and gaming. I mean, right off the bat, like I said, most people in the community are used to 20 download, maybe 2 up. To go from that to 250,
10 times.
It's a shocking difference.
Yeah.
And people don't understand it until you won't understand it until you actually try it. Like me at the radio station in Montreal, we have fiber internet over there, and it's like I upload a 4 gigabit video to YouTube, and it's like boom. First Station's fiber is going to be the same thing. It's going to be boom.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, like you said, it's 1,000. How many in a gig?
1,000 megabits.
1,000 megabits. Right now, local cable providers gives you 20 megabits. You're going to go from 20 to 1,000.
It's going to be an insane jump. It's going to be. And
that's the residential.
That's residential, yeah.
Then we also have the commercial side of it too.
Yeah, so we have the commercial sites. We're going to be offering plans specifically for residential users and then commercial clients because we know that there are a lot of businesses in the community.
Yeah.
And more than ever, the internet has become absolutely essential to run your business properly.
Absolutely.
So the main differentiator that's going to be between a residential client and a commercial client is there's going to be a level of service agreement that's signed with commercial clients. Mm-hmm. So if anything ever happens, we're guaranteed to be there in X amount of time to help you with your issue. So it's not only the internet.
So when the internet goes out at First Nations Fiber, the phone's not just going to come off the hook.
No.
You're going to be answering it and you're going to be going and fixing the problem.
Right away. I mean, we're not anticipating that there will be any
there won't be,
real
because you're
problems.
doing it right.
But we want to be able to have plans in place for if anything does go wrong. We want to be able to provide a service and be able to rectify any issues that do arrive in a timely manner.
Yeah.
And we're so confident in our ability to do it that we're willing to sign commercial agreements with commercial clients saying that if something does go wrong, we'll be able to get that problem taken care of in X amount of time.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
It's like having insurance in a sense.
But look, like I said, this level of service has been nothing but a dream to most community members, and it's finally coming to fruition where we have this level and quality of service right there, and it's actually happening with First Nations Fiber. It's just really exciting as a community member. I mean, regardless of me hosting the podcast with you and everything, I mean, just as a person from Kahnawake, finally being able to get the best way to describe it, out of town speeds, it's really exciting.
As a resident of the 207, I concur with everything that you've said.
Yes, absolutely. Gaming, streaming, working, life is just going to change with First Nations Fiber.
And just before we, I guess, talk about other things, another point that I want to emphasize that's going to be unique with our commercial clients is our commercial clients are going to have a dedicated fiber.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a fiber that's dedicated specifically for your business. And so the commercial...
So they'll have a direct lifeline, basically.
Yeah, essentially. And the commercial packages are going to be as follows. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the FN Fiber Commercial 250. So that gives you 250 down, 250 up.
Wow.
And then there's the FN Fiber Commercial Gig. And again, that gives you the 1,000 megabits up and 1,000 megabits down, which is going to be awesome.
You know how much more business you'll be able to do with that Interact machine with 1,000 gig up and down? I mean...
Any roadblock that you've encountered with you not being able to increase your presence online, with you not being able to distribute products online, anything that's been a roadblock for you and the roadblock has been your internet connection, those aren't going to be issues for you at all anymore.
It's completely going to change.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just exciting. I mean, what more do you want, you know?
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
I really am. I think it's going to be awesome.
Working really hard to get it all done. And I mean, we're finally getting to the point where we're going to get to installation. At some point later on this year, we'll be revealing pricings for the plans.
Yeah.
When people can actually get installed. But right now, go to fnfiber.com to get signed up this way. You're at the top of the list to know when we are going to begin installations and when you could be connected. And by signing up, you also get put on the list to be at the top. So you'll be one of the first to be connected. When can people expect to be connected?
I would say anywhere within 2 to 3 months maximum.
Great. So by the summertime.
By the summertime, we can start expecting people to be installed. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. That's really good.
We're going to see the summer's going to be really big for us.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of work being done throughout the community, and it's going to be...
You see the little First Nations Fiber trucks all over town.
Yeah, you see the few of them already. We're going to be ordering a couple of more to help us with our installations on the poles and things like that. But yeah, you're going to see all of our company trucks are going to be marked with our branding. I mean, I've got the shirt on already. I mean, it's not necessarily different. Or
purple and white. I mean, you can't go wrong. You know,
you see the purple van rolling down the street, you know it's First Nations Fiber.
Yeah, and it says First Nations Fiber on it, so you know you're getting the best product in town.
Yeah.
Wow. And this is just really exciting. Honestly, I'm just excited about it. I'm almost speechless. I'm like, really 1,000 in my house? What?
I can't even imagine what you'd have to be doing to be able to use up a full 1,000 megabits.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I've never experienced it either myself personally, so I'm excited to see what it's going to be like.
Well, look, there's a lot of new entertainers in town. Everybody from DJ Pop-Tart that's doing live streams online to even people are taking ceremony online these days and cultural learnings and teachings.
That's true.
With this type of internet service, anything's possible.
Yeah.
So it's great. And for the record, we are First Nations Fiber, not anybody else. There may be others, but there's only one First Nations Fiber. Don't confuse us with anybody else. Getting the work done on the poles, getting the permits, getting certified, training's done. Going to be installing by the summertime. Get signed up, fnfiber.com, or use the promo code Jeremy at checkout to save instant savings.
That's coming. We'll work that out for you, no problem. But honestly, anybody has any questions, anybody just wants to talk or wants to know a little bit more information, say we didn't talk about something today, put it in the comments below. Or feel free to give me a call. You can call the office here and ask to speak with me personally.
Yeah, our phone won't be off the hook, and it won't be a robotic voice answering. Thank you for calling. It's an actual person.
I've had a couple of people call me just asking questions about what it is that we're doing and the process that we're taking to get our job done. And I have no problem having those conversations.
Yeah, there's no secrets here. Nothing's private. It's not
got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
We're an open book. We're doing things by the book.
Yeah.
And we want people to feel.
You can tell you're doing it by the book. Just look at that. I mean, come on.
We want people to have that trust. We want people to have that confidence. And we want people to feel that we're approachable.
Yeah.
So honestly, anybody has any questions, don't be shy. Email, call, write a comment on Facebook, put a question on Facebook. Whatever it is that you feel you need to do to reach out to us, we're here. And that's why we're here, to service you. So don't be shy.
Well, you've said it all. I think you've said it all. It's just exciting. Episode 5. Thanks for hanging out on the First Nations Fiber podcast. Like Cameron said, get in touch and we'll answer anything you possibly want to know. Yeah, it's just really exciting. By the summertime, we'll be connected with speeds that Kahnawake has never known, A, and B, wouldn't even think is possible. So, yeah, hold on a little longer. Get connected with First Nations Fiber. It's the premier #1 internet provider in Kahnawake. You're not going to want to miss out being a part of this. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe and drop down in the comments if there's anything else you want to know. We'll be covering in the next episode. Is there anything else before we wrap up?
That's it. Just thanks for trusting us with your service or with the community, allowing us to service you.
Yep.
And 2022 is going to be a big year.
And
it's honestly going to be huge.
Let me just tease with the speeds that we're going to be providing. It's not going to cost a whole lot of money either. Mm-hmm. Contrary to popular belief, with current prices that are being put out there by competing companies in town, I can honestly tell you the prices to the product that you're going to be receiving, it's going to be incredible. So hold on, Kahnawake, all right? FNFiber.com, get signed up, and we'll see you next time on the First Nations Fiber podcast. Thanks for listening.